Do you know what the biggest cost is in most companies? You, their people. Congratulations. You're not just an employee, you're a line item too. In service-based businesses, labor costs typically represent 50 to 80% of the total cost. And in non-service-based businesses like manufacturing, labor costs typically represent 20 to 40% of the total costs. Wow. If you're selling managed services or staff augmentation services or outsourcing services, those things tend to generally have a direct impact on a company's labor costs. So if the total value of the deal is over $500,000, it's definitely going to the CFO for approval. And those CFOs are going to need to see how those proposed managed services impact their labor costs since they're already their biggest expense. If you aren't helping your customers build this or providing it to them, then they're building it themselves. And I would bet that you know your deal better than they do. In this video, I'll show you how you can quickly build financial models that'll show how those managed services impact your customers' labor costs across multiple years. First thing, to show the effect that your managed services will have on your customers' labor costs, you first have to build a current state financial model that shows what their existing personnel costs are. So step one is understanding the number of people that your customer currently has for the area that's in scope. And also, has that number of people changed over the last 12 to 36 months? And do they expect any changes in the coming 12 to 36 months? Another good thing to get feedback on is what they expect their salary costs to increase by over the next 12 months. 3 to 4% is usually a good range to throw out there to get that conversation started. A word of caution here. Be careful about who you have these conversations with and what questions you ask. If there's someone who might be affected or they think they might be affected negatively, you want to be very sensitive and tactful about how you have those conversations. Also, some of the questions like how much do employees get paid probably shouldn't be asked of anybody other than people that are higher up in the organization. And the questions that we just went through are the ones specifically related to building the current state financial model. If you're selling managed services, there are a bunch of other topics and questions that you're going to have to ask. Things like what are they doing currently? What's the skill set of their team members? What tools are they using? What's working well? What's not working well? And so forth. Okay. Let's assume that your customer has 5 people that are working in the area that's in scope, 1 manager and 4 individual contributors. They expect the number of people to stay the same over the next 3 years, but they do expect the salaries to increase 3% every year for the next 3 years. And let's say that they didn't provide the exact salary for each person. This isn't a huge problem. You can use estimates and build those into your financial models, share that with your customer, get their feedback, and then refine the numbers from there. So in this case, we're going to just estimate that the manager makes $130,000 a year, and each of those 4 individual contributors makes $100,000 a year. So that totals up to $530,000 per year. And with 3% salary increases each year, the second year will be $545,900, and the third year will be $562,277. So all 3 years total will be $1,638,177. And that's the current state financial model that the CFO and the CEO need to see. Next, we'll build out the financial model for our proposed managed services solution. We'll assume that our monthly managed services price is $42,000 and it's fixed for 36 months. So each year is $504,000, year 1, year 2, and year 3. And that totals $1,512,000. Bingo! Now we can compare our current state financial model against our proposed financial model and see the differences by year and in total. And that's what your CFOs and CEOs need to see. Now, these financial models were really simple and really straightforward. In the real world, your financial models probably aren't going to all start exactly on January 1st. You may have existing software tools that could be impacted. There could be onboarding costs with managed services, or there could be growth in your proposed managed services. Plus, you're probably going to refine your assumptions and your cost estimates and even your proposed pricing over the course of the entire sales cycle. And each of these increases the time required and the complexity and the risk of human error. If you're a sales rep, the easy button for building these types of financial models that your customers will love and will help you win more big deals is Scandere's K2. Let me show you how easy it is to build these simple financial models that we just talked through, as well as then adding in some more real world elements. So we're going to start by entering the start date for the financial models, and we'll use January 1st, 2025. We're going to click Create Financial Model, and we'll name it Current State. We'll give it an end date, and we'll use 12/31/2027, which is 3 full years. Then we'll add an expense and we'll select personnel expense. We'll give this expense a start date of January 1st, 2025 and a term of 3 years. We'll then enter the yearly amount of $530,000 and specify 3% annual increase in the cost. I'll update the description to existing personnel and add a note specifying that our model shows 1 manager and 4 administrators, and that we're also including 3% annual salary increases. And with that, our simple current state financial model is done. Let's create our proposed model next. We'll follow the same steps. Create a financial model named Proposed Managed Services. Add a personnel expense with a start date of January 1st, 2025. We'll specify a term of 36 months and add our expense of $42,000 per month. I'll also change the description to Proposed Managed Services. And that's it, we're done. Lickety split. But let's update our models with some of those real world things I mentioned, like change the start date of the financial models from January 1st, 2025 to March 1st, 2025. We'll update our current state model end date to February 29th, 2028, which is 3 years. And then we'll update our personnel expense to start on March 1st, 2025. Our financial model now looks a little different since it starts partway into 2025 and it ends partway into 2028. We'll do the same with our proposed model. Change the model end date to February 29th, 2028, and we'll change the expense to start on March 1st, 2025. And we're also going to add in some assumed growth in our managed services, 5% per year. All done. That took less time than solving today's Wordle, banjo. And now we can compare our updated proposed model against this updated current state model. Super fast, super easy, and super accurate. And if you like the sound of that as much as I do, get K2 from Scandere and rock your customers' worlds. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you. If it did and you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share it, repost it, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for more big deals.